everybody. Today we're going to be taking a look at Matchbox Moving Parts Mix 8. I know I skipped from, 4 to 7? Now we're going 8, and I'll probably come back for 5 later. No, I haven't done 4 yet. I did 3. Yeah. So we're out of order. I have the rest of them to get those videos done, so if anybody's still interested in seeing those, I just had to get this video out because Mix 8 here is the last one of the year, and it features 5 brand new castings. The Sequoia and the Escalade I've been waiting for. I absolutely love both of these. And I have them, and I just couldn't hold them on card any longer. So we're going to pull these open. I have the full set here, plus an extra, the chase piece. So I ordered the set online because I knew I'm never finding the Sequoia in the store. And I don't know how the rest of them are going to do, but... So I ordered the case online, and look at that, I've got a chase piece. So the Land Rover Gen 2 is the chase piece of the set. I do like the casting, but the deco is not really anything I care for, so I don't know if I'm going to hold on to this one. But it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. Now, let's rip some stuff open, because I'm so excited. We got to start with the 2 recolors of the mix here. The first recolor being the Ford Country Sedan. Only had 1 previous release, so it's nice to see it back. Debuted in red and a cream two-tone, and it was a reference to Abe Lugo's real vehicle. This one is just quote-unquote fictitious. Not like based on anybody's car specifically, but still using an OEM paint scheme. I gotta angle this down a little bit for lighting. But yeah, this is the Ford Country. It does use the grainy decals on the hood there, and well, look at that, the engine's detailed too. So the hood came right open, and there's your engine, and of course it is a plastic insert from the interior. So just get a standard white and a standard blue finish. It uses the full jet finish decals all the way around. There's your tail lights, the ring tail lights, and then the little handle on the trunk lid. Country Sedan on the rear quarter panel. Good old 4-door wagon. Yeah, this thing's pretty cool. And a chrome base too to tie it all together with the chrome bumpers. Absolutely love that. Another classic here. Yeah, all the new models are brand new cars that just came out, and then we got the 2 classics here being the recolors. The Lancer Celeste, right? Celeste. I always struggle with pronunciation. Pretty much just a larger Colt. I love this casting. I was so surprised when this casting came out. And I'm like, really? That's a Matchbox choice, if anything, from Mitsubishi. That's a huge Matchbox choice. Now they got to do a Mitsubishi Expo. I love Mitsubishi Expo. But we had the first color in yellow. Then there's a recolor in like a metallic orange, right? And then this one's kind of like a reddish orange, so it will stand out from the metallic orange. I don't know if there was an exclusive color in one of the Japan sets, or if it was just a re-release of the yellow. Can't remember. But you do get a nice little stripe here on the front fender that goes across the door. You got your badging on the side there. And then this one, of course, has an opening hood. It does have the engine details, which is part of the interior. Maybe they meant for this to be red, because you can see the inner wheelhouse there is red, which is supposed to be body matched, but I think this came out a little more orange than they wanted it to be. Got your mirrors there on the front fender. Your headlights look great. Look at the grille detailing in there. And then on the rear here, you got some really good details with your tail lights and your silver trim and your reverse lights. And of course, chrome bumpers as well. Another fabulous release with the disc wheels. Here, we'll move these down. New model time. First, we're starting with the Lamborghini Huracan Storado. This is the off-road trim level of the Huracan. Yeah, I never thought I would ever say that about the Huracan. Like, that's not a thought that came in my mind when the Huracan first came out. Oh, let's make an off-road variant. But over the time, people became very interested in having like an off-road supercar or sports car. And Porsche has done it previously for racing, but never for the public. And then they came out with the Dakar, and Lamborghini's got the Strato, and Mustang is toying with something that they might do with the Mustang. They've teased a few different things. I don't know if they're actually going to do any of it, but you do get the flat paint finish here, which is an accurate option. As far as the only one that I've seen was this color, and it had a flat finish to it. I'm not sure what other options you can get with it. This one's got the typical Lamborghini livery, 63 on the hood there, which is the year. There is something specific about that. I don't know if it's the year Lamborghini started making cars or the year the Mira came out, which I think was their first car, right? I don't remember. But there is significance with the 63 there, like Hot Wheels put 68 on everything. You got your Huracan headlights there. You got some vents. These are the pod fog lights, or the rally lights on the front there, these two little boxes. It's pretty aggressive from the front end there. Got the black fender flares, which never thought I would say on a Lamborghini. Storado printed on the door there. You get this trim is part of the base, and then you got your striped on the side there. It does have roof racks. Again, something I thought I'd never say about a Huracan. Taillights look great. You got your exhaust and Lamborghini on the back end there. So now you might be thinking, well, what's the moving part? Well, check this out. Oh, that wasn't as smooth as I wanted it to be. There we go. This is actually metal. It is flat black, but it looks plastic, but it's actually metal. So that's nice touch. And there's your motor in the back there, which is kind of disappointing because why didn't we detail that? You think that should have been detailed? Probably. The rest of the car looks amazing, and then you open the engine bay and it's all green. It's a Shrek engine bay. Keep that shut. Okay. But I do like that it is very unnoticeable that opens. It's a very nice seam, and moving parts is heading in a good direction because as we saw in the last mix, they're hiding the moving parts well, and I love it. So there's your Strato. It's really hard to notice that it's like sits off the ground. If anything, like it needs to sit higher off the ground. I think they just did it like a regular Huracan. But I love that it's got all the Strato details on it. So cool. Next, the Tesla Cybertruck. The most controversial car of the 21st century. Yeah, let's take a look. Matchbox is super realistic on this one because there's no paint on it. Absolutely no paint. And I believe mine is like slightly defective. The pillar kind of like, it looks like it's dented here, doesn't it? Doesn't it sag a little bit there? I don't have that on this side. This side's nice and smooth. So that's strange for a Matchbox. And I don't know if that's just the way it's cut or what, but yeah, you can really see it from the side view here. But that's not a flat line. But yeah, here's the Tesla Cybertruck in its two-dimensional form. So yeah, it's just raw Zamac. There's no clear coat on here, no paint. It's just the decals on raw Zamac, and it gives the oxidized look very well. There's your running light on the front there. The headlights are actually down in here, and they double as the turn signal. I know, it's weird. The original concept was supposed to utilize this as the headlight, but I guess they ran into a snafu or whatever. That's the running light, and then your actual headlights are down here with the turn signals. You got your tow hooks in the front bumper. There is your massive windshield wiper. The tonneau covers up, which is part of the interior. Oh, excuse me. Part of the window, actually, I believe. Yeah, it's clear. Here's your taillight on the lift gate. You got your Tesla license plate and then your black bumper. Charge port is, oh, it's not actually detailed on the back here. It is right here on that corner. There's no detail for the charge port there, and they did not put it on the wrong side, so that's weird. Yeah, the stainless steel triangle made it to Matchbox, and the moving feature is the frunk opening up, which looks very accurate for someone who's worked on a few of these and have had the frunks open. That is extremely accurate, and this point is very sharp. Like, I walked by one and I caught my arm on it and it hurt. So I like that they got the look of that. That's very accurate. I love that. And this operates so smooth too. Like, that's nice. That's genuinely a nice model. Nicely proportioned too. Pretty long. I like the length. As compared to the Strato. That's a great one. Of course, I do expect it to peg warm because of what it is, and maybe if this was 2 years ago, it might have done a little better. Nobody really liked the car when it came out, and nobody really likes it now because of what Elon has done. So yeah. Moving on to the ID Buzz. So this one I've also been pretty excited for. And I'm hoping that it's pretty big. Looks decently sized, and it is definitely heavy. A lot of metal on this one. Now, it looks like to me that all of the white is detailed. Yeah, because the body color is the yellow. As you can see in here where they didn't fill in the window trim. But yeah, the ID Buzz, this thing looks great. Got the white two-tone going on, headlights, your Volkswagen badge, and then your grille detailing down below here. It's impossible to do a custom on one of these with that grille. Like, there's no way to replicate that. The door is the moving part here. I mean, it's obvious, and it does slide open, so that's pretty cool. You get some stuff on the back seat there, like a backpack and a camera. The one issue with this door, however, is it's kind of just loose in there. It looks like it's falling off the track. You know, how to get around that, they should probably listen to Tomica. If we take out, this is a custom of mine, by the way, this Alphard. Oh boy. Door is stuck. I don't want to chip the paint. Is this really the only minivan that I've got to demonstrate? Oh, I've got a door sitting here from an Elgrand. Here's my demonstration. Here's a Tomica minivan door. You can see it's got two arms on it, which correspond to one arm on the base and another one on the roof. And they follow those tracks and those pins for opening and closing. So now when it's sandwiched in between the base and the roof, it functions. That's a very simple philosophy. Matchbox, of course, can't figure that out. And they only put the arm at the bottom, which leaves the entire top of the door flimsy. And if they were to do that like Tomica, this thing would open and shut so smooth. And it still does. It's not a big issue, but I mean, it just feels chintzy, you know? Especially when it can also open up like a real car door and not a minivan door. Yeah, that's not how the door is supposed to open. But oh well. This utilizes the bigger 6 spokes, which I don't normally care for. They're fine here. There's nothing really better that they can do. Maybe the disc wheels would work. There's your taillight, which looks pretty good. ID Buzz on the trunk lid and the license plate, and then your Volkswagen logo on the rear. You got the trim on the back there. White roof, sunroof. And yeah, it looks pretty good otherwise. Length seems okay. Kind of sags a little bit in the rear. But wow, whoa, this side looks like way off. Is it? No, it does lean to that side, oddly. Oh, that's weird. But there is the ID Buzz. I gotta say, I'm not super impressed with the ID Buzz, but hopefully the other two here can pull it out. I'm very impressed with the Cybertruck, actually, despite my defect. Hopefully the other two can hold the weight here. We got the 2025 Cadillac Escalade IQ. I might have called it the Lyric before. They all look very similar. There's the Lyric, the Vista, the Optic, and the IQ. And they're all pretty much the same car. So, this one, I don't know if I like this. Did we have to do this? It looks like a Lego. Like, was it that hard to finish the rest of the roof? Like, I don't know. I don't know if I care for that too much. But the rest of this looks pretty good. Got your, I don't want to call it a grill because it's electric. I mean, you do get the grill down here to cool the battery, but the rest of it's just fake grill. Headlights look good. The running lights down the side here. Yeah, the running lights are getting massive on these cars now. This casting does feature mirrors, which is cool to see. Got the rear spoiler on the liftgate. Liftgate is metal, and I should mention the door on the ID Buzz is also metal. Cadillac badge, Escalade IQ, 1000E, and then you got your tail lights, which are kind of heavily broken up on the liftgate there, which I don't think is completely accurate to the real vehicle. And if we can open the liftgate, there's your interior there, which there's not much going on because it looks like third row seating's up. But yeah, the Escalade IQ no, I have seen one of these on the road, just one. But yeah, this thing, I don't know if I care for the half roof piece going on here. Nice brown interior though. It looks like it's unfinished. Especially since the metal on the roof of the rear here makes it darker in the back there. Which that's just a window. That's part of the window piece, that rear quarter window. But when you look at it like that, it doesn't look like a window. It just looks blacked out, which leaves all this area distracting of your eye. That makes like, oh, it's like unfinished. It looks like a prototype. It genuinely looks like a prototype, and I'm kind of disappointed by that too, honestly. We do get the larger multi-spoke wheels, which is what the Cybertruck has too. So the Cybertruck is moving up here. The Cybertruck originally, before I opened it up, was number 4 on my list, but I think I'm putting that higher than the Lyric, or the Lyric, the IQ. But the Sequoia, I got hopes for. I got hopes for the Sequoia, the TRD Pro Sequoia. I'm glad that finally Matchbox committed to the TRD Pro, because they still can't figure out what the 4Runner and the Tacoma are supposed to be. On the artwork, they keep illustrating TRDs, but the actual model is not. And the first release of the 4Runner was supposed to emulate a limited. Then the second release looks like a TRD with the blacked out wheels and the color, and it's like, what is going on? It's the same casting as the limited. Now here is the Sequoia. This thing is heavy. I love this. But the blacked out windows is a bit concerning. I'm not one that normally complains about no interiors. I don't know if this has one or not. Can't really see in it. I'm not sure why they would black it out if there was an interior. The hood opens on this one, and it should. There we go. Yeah, wow, look at that. Nice engine details in the hood there. This got more color than the real ones got in there. Love that. And great exterior details. The headlights look great. Toyota badge on the front, or not necessarily badge, but just it's worked into the grille. You got your camouflage wheel flares, which is something only the TRD Sequoias have, and only available on the TRD Sequoias, I should say. You got like a Texas license plate. The Lone Star kind of gives it away there. Taillights look really good. Sequoia emblem on the lower part of the gate. They even detailed the reflectors on the lower bumper cover there, which is nice to see. This one comes with the roof basket. The wheels look great. The stance looks really good on this thing. It is, of course, a little undersized, but that's okay because the model looks okay. But I'm just concerned about the possibility of an interior. It looks like there's something in there. I don't know if it's just like a pillar from the window piece. And to make this review proper, I want to tell you guys if there's an interior or not. But it's impossible to really tell without drilling it. It looks like, because all the wheel wells are covered up by something. Maybe they're trying to hide the fact that there isn't an interior. Like, I'm trying to see if the engine bay looks metal. Yeah, the engine bay is metal. There's some plastic trim in there. Might be from the window to hide the fact there's no interior. I'm thinking, based on the evidence I have here, I don't think the Sequoia has an interior. And frankly, I'm not too bothered by that. I know people are gonna go, "Oh, I'm not buying it if it doesn't have an interior." Well, yeah, you do you, but you're missing out on something gold right here. Like, this is well done, and it doesn't need interior. Like, it is undersized. The lack of interior doesn't really bother it. For reference here is your $30 TRD Sequoia from GCD. And even then, yeah, the seats are red. But if they weren't, you really wouldn't be able to tell that there was an interior anyway. They've got the rear windows completely tinted. And like, if it just had black seats and was boring, why would you even need to look in the interior? Now, GCD is all about quality, so they put, you know, Toyota badge on the steering wheel and that, and then the gauge cluster has got something going on there. But yeah, the wheels turn. But yeah, and just as a comparison here, the Matchbox isn't that under detailed in comparison. Like, it's got everything that, well, maybe not everything, but at least on the exterior here, it's got everything that the GCD does. Of course, the roof basket isn't like accurately positioned because obviously it's supposed to cover the rear antenna there. And ooh, yeah, and it should have the hybrid Toyota emblem because all the TRD Sequoias are hybrid now. There's the exhaust, like, but the details are there. And oh yeah, the GC doesn't have the camo mud flaps, which are the camo wheel flares, I don't think. Which is something they met. Oh, well, that might be a fingerprint. That might be a finger. No, I think that's something they missed. But this is a very well done replica of the Sequoia for a $2 model, when the only other option is a $30 GCD, and maybe more. I don't know. Are they still in production? And just for some eye candy, look at the undercarriage of this thing. Yeah, I love this thing. Love the GCD Sequoia. It's got suspension too, even on the front end with the with the steerable wheels. They have their own individual springs like a real car. It is immensely insane. It's got a tie rod. It's got a control arm. Like, it's amazing. Of course, it doesn't steer as much as a real car will, just based on their limitations of a model. But okay, this is not a review about this. If you want to see this more in detail, I have a video on it. Just brought it out here for the comparison, and anything you need from a $2 model, Matchbox provides here, interior or not. And I'm gonna stick by my point here in that it doesn't really need an interior, like, unless you're gonna do the individual red seats here, because in order to make it accurate, they either do the full interior red, which is going to be very distracting, or they do it black and it's inaccurate. So if they cover it up, you don't have to worry about either. Leave it there. Look at the Sequoia. Yeah, this is a very heavy mix. 3 massive EVs, a massive gasoline vehicle, some classics, and a Lamborghini. Guess that fits in with the off-road vibe of the TRDs. But there you go, guys. Let me know what your favorite is. Mine, of course, is the Sequoia. And the Cybertruck, surprisingly. But I'll see you on the next one. Take care, everybody. Bye for now.